What's up, everybody? This is Inside the Ring. We are your hosts, Mike and Ray. Ray, how you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Not much. You know what? This is Jack Swagger's new theme song.
Damn right.
I shouldn't say new. It's
not new, but it's pretty good.
Isn't this the guy from Rage Against the Machine?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, huh?
I'm gonna have to check one of their 100 CDs.
Jam-packed show today. I just want to jump right into it. One, you know, like we said, we were interviewed by our local Los Angeles Times newspaper around here. Thought it went a little bit more. It should have went a little bit more better than expected.
Right.
But we're probably going to be doing a shoot on that. What else we got? We got the winner, this week's winner of co-host, and that winner is PS2 Peter, all the way from the UK.
Sweet.
He wrote us about, he wants to talk about TNA, and I know we, usually talk a little bit more about the WWE, but we got to bring up the TNA once in a while.
I've been telling you, let's talk about TNA. I love this.
And but before we get into that, and then we're gonna go break down Raw. But you know what? I think I'm gonna kind of breeze through Raw. I just want to bring out the highlights.
Let's do it, man.
Because I mean, really, Raw wasn't really all that.
No, it wasn't.
I want to bring up Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Was he there? Was he not there?
He was there.
Breeze through ECW, breeze through Superstars. Do you want to go into last week's SmackDown like we did last week, or do you want to go into the spoilers?
We can do whatever. We can do both.
We can do it in the spoilers. All right, but before we bring in the co-host, this is there's something that I got to get off my chest.
Yeah.
Which was the Los Angeles Times newspaper interview.
Yeah.
Now,
no names. No names.
No names?
No names.
Why not?
No, we'll just say the paper.
All right.
No names.
Well, either way. All right, let's just say
it was an unfair interview.
Let's just call him Joe Blow. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So Ray, you texted me earlier.
Yeah. And
you said, "Hey, look, Mike, Staples Center, they got the fan access out there."
Yeah.
And this guy Joe Blow went ahead and wrote a article about the fan, and he interviewed some of the wrestlers there.
He wrote about he didn't actually write about the fan access. He wrote about SummerSlam itself.
Okay.
And how great the promotion's been doing, and how they were doing this big promotion the whole weekend about going PG. But then he also mentioned that some of the outrage of the fans that about the PG rating. Right. That they were wanting the old stuff from the Attitude Era or the ECW era. But
then he mentioned forums and he mentioned YouTube shows.
Yeah,
he didn't mention this show by name.
He just said there's a lot of YouTube shows and a lot of what do you call it? A lot of mail or whatever, a lot of articles on the internet about trashing WWE and their new direction towards PG.
So I got a hold of Joe Blow email, and I emailed him and I said, "Hey, look, we are one of those YouTube shows. Would you like to get our side of the story?"
Right.
And he said, "Great," and he was going to interview us that day, which he did. He called up.
Recorded.
He called up, and first of all, what did he say? He said he was very new. He doesn't even watch
wrestling at all. He was just giving the tickets to go.
So let me ask you this: Why did they send some kind of jobber rookie guy that is green to the company? Don't even know what's going on.
Well, because here in the States, wrestling doesn't matter. Over here, it's like a soap opera. It's just a clown act for them.
In his article, he interviewed. Who did he interview?
He interviewed Big Show. Okay. Interviewed John Cena. Okay. And Triple H.
Okay.
Top three talents.
Top three talents who are, he
also, I believe, I'm not really too sure if he interviewed Vince McMahon, but there was a lot said about stuff about Vince McMahon, saying stuff about how he hates the word wrestler, and there's a lot of things in there about Vince McMahon. So,
right.
I'm not sure if he actually got an interview with him or not, but
you interviewed the top three talents. One a Big Show, who is this pro McMahon.
Right.
Triple H, who's married to the McMahons.
Right.
John Cena, was pretty much married to the McMahons.
Yeah, he's basically their new son.
But the thing what he failed to do, and I pointed out to Joe Blow, was he failed to mention to interview the fans,
or at least put a part of something that he's heard from fans. He just said fans were unhappy. Period.
Yeah.
But what were they unhappy about? He didn't.
Nothing.
He accused saying, well, I don't know if he really accused it, but he really just said that the fans wanted the old school stuff back, but he didn't refer to what, he didn't know what, and he didn't care to know what.
He mentioned too that all three of those talents had the same pretty much response.
They all had the same response. They all said it was what? What did they say? It was a Shrek show.
Well, he said Triple H said that Raw is now considered like Shrek.
Right.
You know, it's targeted for the little kids,
Right.
and there's little zingers, little punchliners
Right.
for the adults,
Right.
which is unacceptable.
Right.
Why are you going to make a wrestling show, which he doesn't even like the term wrestlers anymore?
That's what I read in the paper, and it really pissed me off.
But why are you going to turn it into a cartoon show when it's supposed to be a wrestling show? What's the point?
The problem is, this is the problem. You've been telling me over and over again about Vince McMahon's frustration in the back.
Right.
And how they're having problems building up superstars, how they're having problems holding storylines, and how they're having a problem with the in-ring performance,
I've been told by our inside source from the WWE that, we're not going to mention that name.
Right.
But I've been told by him that
he's upset.
He threw his headsets.
Yeah, but he's upset of his product, right? So why are you going to continue to give your product to a smarter audience when you can just focus to a younger audience who don't understand, and you can just let it go until he figures things out? That's what I think the PG thing is. I think the PG thing is an excuse for running a crappy promotion right now.
Well, I told them, I told the reporter, Joe Blow, was, I think, and a lot of fans has gotten back to me and saying that the reason why that this whole thing went PG, which is a far cry from PG. I mean, did you see Raw?
I saw Raw,
Okay.
but did you see SummerSlam?
Well, no.
How are you going to go PG with your main event being a TLC match? One of the biggest matches to come out of that era.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Not only that, you have Triple H and Shawn Michaels coming out with their DX thing.
With their crotch chop.
Their suck it 2-word thing, right?
Yeah.
They're coming out with a big old tank, and Marines and Army guys, whatever, coming out pointing guns at the crowd. I mean, how PG is that?
Well, did you see the Six Divas tag team match?
Yeah.
Mickey James.
Yeah.
Look what she was wearing.
I know it.
She had to pull down her skirt because she was showing her thong. I mean, how PG is that?
Well, they've been trying to cover up for the women's, and that's what was on the article, how the women are wearing leggings now, and how they're covering up their breasts, and they're no longer doing like these swimsuit stuff anymore. And I've seen a lot of that lately by the women, but on the men's side, I still see the stories continue to be above PG.
Well, I think I kind of ruined the interview, and I don't think they're going to use it at all because of the simple fact that I sounded a little bit hostile.
And you're not making it fair. The media is supposed to be about two sides.
Right.
And he did not want to have another side on that article.
No, he didn't. Especially, he didn't want us to be on that other side.
Right.
Because we were just hitting them hard.
Right.
For someone that doesn't know the business, hasn't watched a wrestling match in his life, I find that hard to believe.
Right.
But but let me bring out another point of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what? He's new, doesn't know anything about the company, doesn't know any terms, doesn't know how it's being run,
right?
Doesn't know really who the top guy is, even though they gave him the top guys to interview,
right?
Okay, which is a given,
right?
But when we asked him, we straight out asked him, who did you see that was, that opened your eyes and thought it was great?
Right.
I mentioned the word Jack Swagger.
No, you didn't mention it. He said it.
He said Jack Swagger.
He said the big guy that looked like, I forgot the name he mentioned. He mentioned a Hollywood name, and then he said it was something Wagger or something Swagger. And then when you said Swagger, he was like, that's the guy.
Now,
he got all excited about that match.
So, someone who hasn't watched a wrestling show, you mean to tell me not the TLC match?
Right.
Not the Triple H and Randy Orton match?
Right.
Not the DX match?
Right.
Not the Jericho and Big Show match?
No,
it was
Swagger.
Swagger versus MVP. What stood out the most to this guy who's never watched a wrestling show in his life.
Right.
What's that telling you?
It's big.
It's huge. I mean, the mid-carders are the future right now.
And
the top talents are keeping them down, like what Orton and Cena did with Ken Anderson.
Right. And it was really obvious on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Did you see Raw?
Yes.
Did you see how when the main event came out, there wasn't as many cheers as there was for the mid-card?
Well, they booed Vince when he said that John Cena was going to get his rematch.
Right.
At Breaking Point.
Right.
They booed it.
No one cared.
No.
And no one was excited when he says, we're going to have a new pay-per-view, and it's going to be in all submissions. No one got excited.
Nope.